Rightio, hello, and welcome back to another stream, and it's a pretty special one. We're going to be playing a new Star Trek game that's almost unheard of. So, like a full-fledged game, anyway. I think the Star Trek Fleet Commander or something. That's like a mobile game, and then you Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online is probably the last one I played. So, I hope you're all doing well, and thank you for joining me. If you're watching this as a VOD, thank you from the past to the future. Let's do that. Rightio. Right. Cool, let's get cracking. So, we can pick like 2 people. Don't know what like the audio levels are, but so yeah, the people, there's like people from Telltale games and stuff like that are involved in this. So it's not going to be very action heavy, but it's the story is meant to be pretty decent.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them.
I'm actually genuinely looking forward to this.
Stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydeck. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Cool. Uh-oh. Is that guy being sick? Oh no, he's reading a pad. I thought he's just thrown up. Like, bah! Oh, am I meant to play this with a controller?
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
You don't like flying. And yet, you joined Starfleet.
There's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
Is that good or bad? I mean, he was impacted by what I said. See, I think you can just go around and be a dick if you want.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
Oh.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet.
Oh, a steam runner, a Miranda,
She'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Excelsior, Nova, and then a regular style space station. It's actually an upside down version of the Centaur. It's an upside down version of the motion picture space station, because if you look in the windows, the trees are upside down. Hey, Chris, thank you. Thanks for the light. Hope you're doing well, bud. Check in at security.
starbase on the very edge of Federation space.
Starbase
Long way
128.
from home now.
Oh.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Guitars 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20.
You didn't finish number 1, cadet.
Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
I'm not going to be a dick, though.
There's that.
Yeah, this guy's proud of his achievements.
That's quite impressive.
It's fair enough.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
So yeah, it's going to be very much like a Telltale game kind of thing.
Welcome, Commander Rydeck.
Wait, you're Jara Rydeck? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before.
The pleasure is mine.
I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Yay! Good to meet you, Paul.
I believe
Come on
Commander
down.
Armad is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
Loving the blue L cars.
See you on the Resolute.
My personal favorite is the blue, like movie era. My favorite ship as well is, and I've got a model of it here, is the Enterprise B. I love the Enterprise B. Oh, it's a bit dusty. Yeah. I don't know, just ever since I watched Generations when I was a kid, even though I'd seen like an Excelsior and stuff, like, I don't know, there's just something about it. I don't know if it's how the movie opens with the Dom Perignon spinning in space, and then you see it. I love the Enterprise B, and when it gets hit by the Nexus as well, no, everything about the Enterprise B I love. Oh, strategic applications, command tech center, expedite initiatives, dynamic services, virtual rooms, deliver corridors, convergence doors, step portals. I feel like these are just random words. So it's Star Trek. we found Star Trek.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Armad is a Bolian.
Oh, a
So I'm
Bolian.
looking for someone with blue skin.
Bolian. Oh, there's a Bolian over there. Let's see what other races there are. Human. Oh, what look to be humans. Excuse me, are you a Bolian?
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is.
Just out of that airlock. We get to... And we're in first contact uniforms as well.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Loses his arm in the door. Like, ah!
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Nice. Replicated meal.
Replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Oh, I want some tomato soup. Just like Tom Paris.
Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is.
Bit
Thank
weird.
you.
It's like,
Happy to help, Commander.
Oh, oh, we got.
Excuse me.
Is there a way I can turn motion blur off? What up?
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydeck. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute.
Who's your favorite Bolian?
Commander?
Mine has to be Mott. I can't remember the
There
other
wasn't too
ones.
much trouble getting here.
Do we see? We got the guy in Voyager.
Making anything easy for us right now.
That was a bit
And I
bumpy.
know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was like a cadet.
But otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before.
There's that next gen episode where Picard's
We're
like
grateful you were
wakes
able
up
to
in that
fulfill
room
our first
and
officer.
there's only a Bolian
Vacancy
cadet
at
with them.
such short notice. From everything I've read and
There's the
everything
two
I've
other
heard, we're
ones.
lucky you were
Uridian.
to us.
Is it Uridian?
Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
Yeah, let's fire some torpedoes, Commander. Let's blow some shit up. Oh, cool. Ah, they reworked it because originally it was like
The
like
USS Resolute.
an actual just normal Centaur
May not look
class.
like much compared to the bigger ships,
But
as
they've
far
put
as
a
science
they've,
vessels go,
they've put a
we're
groovy
no
deflects
worse.
edition.
And she doesn't look so bad
Wow.
considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle.
Need to get Geordie on there.
Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
Oh lord.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you.
At least Pressman wasn't there on the old
I'm so sorry
Pegasus.
for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many.
What was that face?
And to that, I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within.
Well, apparently not. I
You
mean,
want
you,
to tread lightly first,
you nearly blew your ship up.
until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know.
Yeah, these are all the settings that we've got at the moment. Subtitle brightness, dialogue volume, sound effects, music. I think the motion blur is there to hide some cracks. So, your crew. Oh, is it just? It hasn't just crashed, has it? Oh no. Oh no. Has it just crashed? Oh. Oh my god, what is going on? What? Why did it take me back to the menu? Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit clunky. It's not a problem. Let's end the task. So just to let you know as well, Epic Games, they've got a 25% coupon. Obviously, great time to mention it, but yeah, it's $31.69 on Epic, but they have a 25% coupon at the moment. So I paid like £23, I think. Hopefully it's not deep dive into your choices. Ah, this is going to be interesting. That's cool. I wonder if they must have that on other... Because I don't play... to be honest, I was never a big fan of the Telltale series. I tried to play The Walking Dead, I think, or... Yeah, I think it was The Walking Dead. And I didn't really... Oh, God. Oh, shit. What is going on here? I'm going to play it with a controller. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Maybe the button mapping's a little bit naff. I really hope there's inverted controls. Alright, we'll try that again. Task. I was reading... I went on the forum quickly just to see if there was anything that was like... Oh, Mikey, 3 out of 5 exams. Done. Excellent. Excellent. Thanks for stopping by as well. Alright. Yeah, I hope there's inverted controls on this analog stick. Actually felt weirdly more responsive. So oh no. Okay.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together...
Oh, well, we got the intro again. Fun fact related to Star Trek, hit me.
And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different.
Okay.
I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos...
When I was 9, I believe, or 10, I went to see Star Trek in the cinema with my friend, his parents. Before we ate Nando's, one of them was saying really fun stuff. So I was laughing a lot.
Officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydeck. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Hey, Sarah, thank you. This is something incredibly funny, and I spat out the carrot bits in my mouth all over his mum. Oh my god. Was that Star Trek 2009?
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Spat carrots on
Stick
his
around
mum.
in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this. I have.
And you're here to talk about it.
In the flesh.
That's good.
Oh, he liked that. Nice, nice. I went and watched. I literally went
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
because J.J. Abrams
I hadn't
did
noticed.
that movie,
I'm on my way to my
Um,
first assignment. When we
and
get to the starbase,
if you
I'm
went and saw
transferring onto the
Cloverfield
Resolute.
that came out
So am I.
like the year before or some whatever, they would show you a teaser of that movie, but it wasn't a teaser of that movie. It was a teaser of the Enterprise being built, or like a little cinematic. And yeah, I literally went and saw Cloverfield for that. Do you want me to name the ships again? Steam Runner, Miranda, Nova, Excelsior. There's a Centaur class. Love the Excelsior. To be fair, I think the Nova's really cool as well. That's the Nova class. Oh my god. A couple years later, when you went round the house, I accidentally broke a £50 vase. Russo. Oh god.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
Right, when we get out of
It's a
this,
tactical simulator that makes
we
the
need to save.
Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5.
oh, the old Kobayashi
Anyway,
Maru.
I finished in the top
I think I said
20.
that 10 minutes ago.
Not just in my class. I mean, all time.
Fun
In the
fact,
history
first time
of
you
the
hear
academy.
about the Kobayashi Maru,
So,
I believe
there's that.
it's Star Trek 2, the Wrath of Khan. And my wife, Sarah, she bought me, I'm not a big Funko Pop kind of guy, but
Really?
bought me
That's quite impressive.
Khan
Thank you.
for my birthday.
But you know, I set my mind
He
to it,
sits,
and
he
it
sits
paid
right next
off.
to me. Yeah, to the left of me there's loads of little Star Trek things. If you actually go on my Twitter, you'll see I've taken a
Hold it
photo.
there for a few seconds.
I just got one of those health tracking rings.
Welcome, Commander Rydeck.
Wait, you're Jara Rydeck?
The one and only, baby!
Absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
To be fair, in Star Trek,
See you on the
like,
Resolute.
the people that like, sit at that desk go, get people to scan their hands in. I feel so sorry for them. It must be the most boring job in the world.
Good day, Commander.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a Bolian.
Oh,
So I'm looking
yeah.
for someone with blue skin. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Terminal 4.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
What? Quite a fan of the Starship Maximum Overdrive engine, RT50 Giga Drain coolant, Mega Turbo turbines. Oh, we're gonna get some tech talk. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Excuse me.
Can I say? No.
Welcome to the edge of
See,
the galaxy, Commander Rydeck. I'm Commander Jan.
I'm more of a fan of the...
Operations officer on the Resolute.
I do know about it, right? I don't know. I don't know. Is that an actual quote from
Too
something?
much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before.
I'm trying to think of the guy from Voyager, Chell. His name was Chell. And then you had Mott, the hairdresser, who was Bolian.
From everything I've read,
I can't remember the fake Bolian that is with Picard.
From a premier starship and all. To our research.
You have high expectations.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Yeah, Ensign Chell.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Tuvok trains all the cadets. Well, those 4 cadets. I love the bit that when they're running round, the it just makes them do like more laps. Do you know what? I don't mind replaying this bit because I quite like this shot. I'm a big geek when it comes to the ships.
Bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame.
I reckon
It
you
was a
did it.
planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits.
Kapla!
As the dilithium
How's it going, bud?
runaway reaction,
Thanks for stopping by.
deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
Ooh, damn.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each
Yeah, that's a high price.
To have lost so many lives. That's a high price to pay.
I'm not getting on that ship now.
High by any
It's
estimation.
probably haunted.
But there's nothing that can be done about it now except get back to work. And make sure it never happens again.
I know. If we worked out why it cracked itself in half.
I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time.
I do like this redesign of the Centaur.
And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly first.
I said this
Always
about
good to
10
have a
minutes ago,
sense for
but
what you're walking into.
these are the people that
That's what you ought to know.
almost blew up their ship and
I
killed a lot of
appreciate it.
people.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board.
Hopefully,
Always eager to see you.
hopefully it doesn't crash
Will
again.
we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready.
That's
Still
cool.
so much to do.
I like that shot. Do-do-do. Hello. Oh,
Stuck. I got just the thing.
oh, find the plasma torch. That's the wrench, isn't it? Up in the top left. Yeah, plasma torch, baby. Yeah, so I think it's all... There's a lot of quick time events in this. But what I've read, the story is meant to get really cool. And it does stay faithful to sort of Star Trek in general. So I think it's like anything with Star Trek. Like, and we see it in the movies and stuff like that. Do they go action? Do they go story? Stuff like that. And I guess the games as well are pretty similar. I'll probably be doing it for a couple of hours, Mikey. Definitely. And this would be a VOD as well, so, you know, if you do miss anything, you can always skip back as well. Oh my god, I just fixed something or other.
Is that?
An impulse manifold. Oh, this is cool. I like it. We're in a shuttle bay. Oh, the lower decks. Love it. Love it.
I thought the thing was totally.
Yeah, no worries, Mikey. Oh, true.
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering.
I remember seeing the concept drawings for the Enterprise D's like actual main shuttle bay, and I always thought it looked really cool. Cool. Oh, what are we doing?
Come on.
Let's have a little look around. Oh, does it? Oh, what are these? Oh, it's a probe. Excellent.
Carter Diaz.
Why am I just picking up a probe? Like, looks a little bit like Nomad.
Welcome.
Hurry up.
I'll do another one.
So clean I can see myself. And you know what?
Oh my god.
Not that bad.
That guy in the corner looks absolutely wrecked.
Time's a wasting.
Where are you? Is that you? Oh, there we go. Ooh. Love a bit of carpet. It's like between a sort of the D and like the Sovereign. Like Insurrection Sovereign. Like Nemesis is all dark and moody in it.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
We can handle anything.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
Have you seen the Roddenberry fight? Sort of, what is it? The Roddenberry.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander
Group.
Chovak.
And you can
We were just looking for you.
they've
Commander.
recreated all the
Petty
bridges
Officers
for the
Ed
for. Ah, it's
Diaz.
okay.
I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you.
It's very true.
Point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
So you're saying we're irreplaceable, Commander?
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could.
Oh, brutal.
Interpret as you see fit.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
I need to go and find some
Equip
self-sealing
yourself in EV
stem
suits
bolts.
to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best.
I remember my
engineer in the
cousin
fleet.
when I was younger played a game
I
called
am
Star
aware,
Trek
Mr.
Unity.
Diaz.
I think it was
Flattery
Unity.
is not necessary.
It was a next
All that I
generation game.
require is that
It was
you
like
do
point
your
and
job.
click.
Right now, that entails critical preparations.
But there was
because
like
long-range sensors
8
show that
discs.
disturbances will be more
Like, you'd
severe
have to
at
swap
our
them out.
destination, the Hotari system. You have your
And
orders. Do not.
There's
delay.
always been like a little part of me
Yes, Roger
that
that.
likes the slower paced Star Trek games. Star
All
Trek
hands on deck.
Hidden Evil I even quite enjoyed. I remember when it
What's
first came
All
out.
hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
You gotta have some faith, Millie. Starfleet Command wouldn't send us out if we weren't ready.
6 months ago, I probably would have said the same thing. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, we're actually going out.
New faces
Oh,
on
it's
board.
first contact ones as well.
It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Oh, there's an old face I didn't expect to see again.
Hello.
Hey, Miranda. You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
You're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Oh, cool.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
I don't know how long this game is as well.
See you on the other side.
But I hope we get to like.
Activating magnetic souls.
I hope we get to meet quite a bit of the crew. Oh. Spacewalks make me queasy.
Let's go.
Steamrunner? All hands.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
Let's mess up his office.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of diridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen.
Oh, she's a Kobleot.
And we have
Where are
plenty
they
of diridium
from?
in sick
I've
bay,
heard
so there's no risk of running
that
out.
race before.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself too.
I wonder if there's a gameplay element then. Are we gonna like die from deuterium, lack of deuterium or something? Very cute way. Yeah, let's mess up the office. A tricorder? What? Diploma. Starfleet Academy.
I believe he keeps this around. Don't even know where mine is.
It's probably photocopied. Oh, model train. Choo choo.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
That's something like that. I like that you can hear the hum of the warp core as well. I actually find it really relaxing. Let's steal the secret codes. Oh, some isolinear chips. You can get them on Etsy, can't you? Isolinear chips and stuff. I was going to get a couple.
Just a sip of something.
Aractogeno. Klingon coffee.
Aractogeno.
Love it. Why did it make the transport?
That sure has a kick.
There's no finer coffee in the quadrant.
Jara Rydeck. Last time I saw you, it was graduation.
That is a fine mustache.
You'd already secured
The
one of the most
finest mustache in Starfleet.
And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it.
I like it.
As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained, probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever
Don't want to go warp 10 though.
What would have been the crowning achievement of my career? Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong.
Best episode of Star Trek ever.
Pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people.
I really don't want to be on this ship with this guy.
As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
We have to move on.
You have to look to the
Let's
future.
just move on.
You can't dwell on the past, on things you can't change.
There's nothing that can be done about it now. In my defense, I will say I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me.
Oh.
There was a lot of pushback from my former XO.
Then I pushed him out of an airlock.
I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work.
You can rely on me.
And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
I wonder if we'll get like opportunities
At
to
the end of the day, it has to be my call.
you know,
Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford
stage a
another
mutiny.
mistake. Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out
Have we heard of
war.
Tau before?
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute
Isn't the
is
Traveler
truly
from like
capable
Tau,
of, but also
Tau
a
Alpha
mission for which we're
City
uniquely
6 or
qualified.
something? Yeah, the one that like
This ionic storm.
takes Wesley.
Long-range sensors suggested several
With his
orders of
creepy
magnitude
hands.
stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before.
The,
And you'll never guess where it leads.
the bit in that episode where like Wesley like
Exactly.
meets the Traveler.
Very nearly in the precise location.
And I think
where
either the Traveler puts his hand on Wesley or Wesley puts his hand on the Traveler's hand. And it makes me shudder every time. I just don't like his hands.
Will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
How many torpedoes we fire.
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying.
I'm looking at maybe an Oberth. That's my dream ship, the Oberth class.
Pace yourself. Like I said, when it happens is entirely up to you. But first, you have to be willing to put in the work.
Of course.
Come. Let me introduce you to the crew.
I think that was like a neutral reaction. Ah, the bridge. Oh, cool. It's got the horseshoe. Like a mini horseshoe. Oh, this is cool. I like this bridge. It's like D meets E.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce
cool.
Commander Jara Rydeck, our new first officer.
I'm really liking the music as well.
Quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks
Oh,
in
Bajoran.
humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
It's nice.
Pleasure.
No Saru.
Commander Rydeck, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time,
Alright, creep.
and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything,
Oh, I
honor
didn't get
is
the
mine.
option. It's like, oh,
Well,
chill
I have
out.
to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since
Yeah,
then,
I'm
you've
gonna have to
done so
Google the
much to
Kobliad.
protect others who need it.
I feel like they're in an episode of TNG.
So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
I'm sure you will.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please do everything you can to make Commander Rydeck feel
I like this bridge. I think the horseshoe won me over, to be honest. I have a cheap date.
Starbase Commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous.
I wonder if there's any Easter
Bridge
eggs in the
is
outcasts.
yours.
Hang on. I want to have a look at this. Master Systems display.
So many decks.
I would love a Master
Oh,
Systems
please,
display of
I
the
know my
Enterprise B.
responsibility.
You know, like in Generations, it's in the background, but I wonder if that's just the Excelsior. But I'd like one that said like Enterprise B, like USS Enterprise B. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to not spin the camera too much because of the motion blur. Oh, what's this?
Tactical hollow dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Oh, I thought that's just where Sulu put his cup of tea.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm.
Go to warp. Leave him behind.
We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Okay. Cool. Ah, so we go back
The
to...
storm is getting worse.
Nice.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
move the camera that much now.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was to ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Yeah, of course I do. Starfleet's an open door. We just have to walk through it.
We could join Captain Picard's archaeology team.
I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Ooh, what's this? Equipment case! Oh, we get to pick another doodad. Calibration tool. Ah. Tells us which one to pick. Boo!
Getting recalibration.
Tune the nodes to the center circle indicators. Oh. Oh, nearly. Ah, that'll do. It's close enough.
That wasn't so hard.
Just don't go faster than Warp 7, alright? It ain't calibrated that well.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive.
Pretty impressive, because I had forgotten.
Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
Well, I'm so glad you said that. Now I know exactly who to turn to when I have questions.
Questions are more Commander Ermont's territory. Captain Solano primarily
He's got a really
relies on my
glowy
knowledge
blue
and
head then.
expertise when he needs answers. I'm curious though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
Would be buggered.
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario. But
God, this guy's
outside the realm of
a bit of a
possibility.
douche, isn't he?
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being.
I wonder what the ring's
But
all
you don't
about
need
then.
to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect.
I thought they were going to name check, you know, the guy that was on the USS Sutherland that was like really mean to Data, and then Data just like slaps back.
And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I'll be
I don't
nice.
think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
He's smiling.
Captain Solano is on the starbase. Let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into.
So I wonder,
It's
because we
unusual.
have different
Unlike anything
reactions
I've
and
ever
stuff
seen.
like that, and the
At
options.
the moment, I can't tell you if the
It'd be
Resolute
interesting to
is
see
fronted
how
on
much of an
or
impact that
putting ourselves at
has.
risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature,
we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
Uh-oh. He pressed the wrong button there. Uh-oh.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound. On screen.
Turn her into the wave.
Tracing its trajectory. Starbase docking clamps are holding. The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Red alert.
Aye.
Oh, cool. Is that the warp core?
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
It's always the deflector. We love a
There's a
deflector.
better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
Deflector.
That's right. Which is
shields.
why we need to send power to our shields.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields.
We're dead.
Stand by. I need a head-in. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my
I
command.
wonder if there's decisions that absolutely just game over it.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
Oh, that was a...
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Ah, exactly. That was what I was thinking. The port nacelle plasma regulator. Of course.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1?
Every time I see him
circuit?
just in these EV suits, I just think that Borg's gonna walk over, or Commander Hawk's gonna get messed up. We hear like doo-doo-doo-doo, we're pressing stuff.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Interlock 1, interlock 2. Okay. Boop. Oh, looks good to me.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Oh, we get to do little Isolidia. Moving. They love it. Boop.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Now we know that.
We gotta climb up the pylon.
Now we can get the phaser out. Time for a
Enough,
mutiny.
You know.
I remember when I used to love Star Trek Elite Force, the first one, and whenever you were like on Voyager, you could start a mutiny. Well, you could just like start a firefight. Oh.
Are you alright?
Yeah. So took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit.
Oh my god.
60%.
It's getting real. Do you reckon my phaser fire's going over to that Miranda class?
We're almost to the regulator.
We've got 4 minutes. Do you reckon it's sentient? Normally glowy green stuff sentient in Star Trek. Do you reckon we've just killed like 50 of their people?
Causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
There we go.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Oh, here we go. We got spinny things like first contact. Oh, nearly. There we go. Oh.
EPS lines to the warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovak can...
Oh, that doesn't look good. Scratching all the new paint. Uh-oh.
Get down! Diaz to bridge.
I didn't actually see that prompt for a second. Really got...
We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release this ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Well, that's poor, isn't it?
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We
safest
have
way to...
people on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
I'll fucking torpedo the station.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
Trust me.
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
No.
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Oh, reverse the polarity.
Stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Captain didn't like that.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydeck. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Oh,
2,
didn't know what was quite going on there.
1.
I think they got blown into space. Uh-oh. Oh.
Grab my hand. I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary
this would be
system
impressive
failure.
if I blow the ship up before we leave space dock. Give it the beans! It's all that probe lifting I've been doing. Yay, friendship. Uh-oh. Oh.
I got you. Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Oh.
Roger that.
Oh, that's cool. She's like, oh damn! Oh, that debris. Do we just keep walking? Do we have to avoid anything? Hopefully we don't have to avoid anything. We might be floating in space.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Hi. You just made me drag her all the way to this auxiliary hatch, and she's like, "Yeah, fine."
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
Not on your life.
Yeah, she's injured. She's not thinking straight.
Let's not
She
come down to that.
just took a whole plate to the face. Are we gonna get Voyagered? Ah, I wonder if this. Because I'm pretty sure you have to pick one or the other, and I wonder if I just picked.
We made it.
What if we just made our choice without
They're safe.
knowing?
Bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Hey, structural integrity field is back. We only wrecked a bit of a station, fried the ensign. That was some green stuff. Uh-oh.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Oh, gee whiz.
Let's get this off.
Oh.
Medical. Got one wounded at my location.
Survived.
Carter. You don't look so good.
You look barbecued. Oh, the little hover beds. You see him once in a while.
You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet.
It's like my favorite part of the motion picture is the Enterprise reveal, but then also you just see people like when Kirk turns up and he's like, I've got the ship back, to Scotty. But you just see people like getting on with their day jobs. I really enjoy it.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Oh, excellent.
Good to hear.
We are still
Send
at
updates
space
to
time.
my ready room. Commander Rydeck, with me.
Is he going to give us a hard time for disobeying his orders? You pulled a crazy stunt out there, Commander. Something like that, I reckon.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
It was the right decision. He's not going to like it.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders.
There you go.
And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the starbase staff as well. That's going to get around.
This guy's
My
more
name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be on.
I'm just going to really piss the captain off.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order. But you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew.
Oh, big words.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit.
He's like an onion.
We all are.
He has many layers.
And if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either.
I'm really worried about this captain.
In those shoes.
It's a bit worried.
So let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir.
He needs to close. He needs to close that tricorder. He's going to drain the battery.
I'm sure you will someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. What's everyone's thoughts on the Steam Runner class? Like, my first sort of introduction to it, I didn't realize was First Contact, but I used to play Star Trek Armada 2 all the time. And his class is like the artillery ship there. And there was always something I liked about it. I'd pick it in Star Trek Legacy as well.
We've got our full
I think it's like ugly in a...
This is my favorite moment, right now.
But in a weird way I like it.
Always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Oh.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
So the captain's gonna be a drug runner for the Orion Syndicate.
Captain on the bridge.
I really don't trust this captain.
Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
I do like the slight redesign of the center for this game. I don't know if it's inspired by another design that's out there, but yeah, I think it looks cool.
That should do it.
They're going with a window.
For the Voltari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Oh, engage, do it. Make way. Engage.
Engage.
Didn't have the cojones to make it so.
Simple, but effective.
Oh.
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
Oh dear. My mood rings turned red.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
I'm red! Oh god. God, that kicks in.
Help me get her inside.
Yeah, because that species, Cobliad? Again, I need to... I've heard Cobliad before, but I don't know what series or whatever it's from. And is this deuterium sort of quirk for this game, or was it
A
mentioned?
few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest.
He's just sleeping.
You should worry about yourself. Your diridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Cobliad before. You're
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the diridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive.
Yay.
I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Cobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science
I
experiment.
know it's
I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
like
You don't
gaming
agree
in
with
general
his
is sort of like a different
I
landscape.
don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your
But
crew are
I
at
really
stake.
hope this does well.
My professional
And
opinion
then
is that the
maybe
accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit.
it allows sort
He's
of
overstressed,
people
operating
to
under
make different
pressure to put
genres
of his own mind.
of Star Trek games
Which is
again.
never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I hear you.
Yeah, this
That's my
captain.
job, isn't it?
This
To
captain
make sure
ain't,
that doesn't happen.
ain't all that.
And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
I reckon in this game,
Guess
do you,
the road travels fast around
do
here.
you think we'll get It's a Good Day to Die or Needs of the Many outweigh the needs of the few or the one?
Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of dilithium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Just while walking out of sickbay, just a massive thank you for everyone stopping by.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
Thank you.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know
This
that
is
I
where
have
it's
your
going to
back.
take effect, isn't it?
Thank you.
These little decisions. I wonder what kind of end game kind of
Now, Carter,
impact.
the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall.
I hear you've been checking in on me. Thanks for that.
One of the benefits of working a security rotation. Lots of opportunities to walk by sickbay and stop in.
And say hi to the sick people. Breathe in some viruses.
Just us right now.
I love the smell of sick
I had a chance
people.
to think about this while I was away, and I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you, instead of tiptoeing around it, or worse. Even
Let's
though
play
I
time.
said-
Something wrong?
Wait, are you angry at me or something?
Oh, no, not that. I'm sorry. I'm probably making too big of a deal here. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time.
Oh, okay.
I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Yeah, let's go for it.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is?
Space love.
If it's there for you.
Absolutely.
It's there for me.
Woohoo!
I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt.
I feel sorry for the ensign that's going to be cleaning up that holodeck up later.
Wants to get back to his own self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Ooh. Oh, okay. That was a bit of a weird exit, but that's cool. That's fine. 24th century. But
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm.
I wonder what the Hatari are all
Dropping
about.
to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydeck, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Do you know, I'm happy I'm doing this on a mouse. Oh, what's that? Is that a shuttle?
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Ugh.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute.
We've been spinning for hours. Oh, that's like proper TNG shot.
Get it any
Or
clearer.
Star Trek 5.
It won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Uh-oh. This man's just like running around.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
on, Diaz.
Cool.
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Oh, it's from the USS Excelsior. What's the name of the show?
We're pulling in debris. I'm on it.
Oh. Oh, that. Why can't I? Bloody asteroids, eh? We get everywhere. Oh dear.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Here's the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydeck, plot an intercept course.
On it. Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters.
I don't know what that
100
background
course.
noise is. It's so weird.
Got it.
Whoa.
Okay, that is definitely one way.
Hard on the bridge.
I like the shuttle bays at the front as well, just underneath the bridge as well. Bring her in. Oh. NCC 2000, lovely. We'll definitely have a look at the name. Grayson. Dr. Grayson. TOS? No, TNG. Dr. Grayson. Is Dr. Grayson the one that they beam onto the planet Dr. Solar? It's like the only time you see Dr. Solar. Oh,
Terra firma, so to speak.
here he is. Old Spock.
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Cool.
That was a bumpy ride. Are you all right, sir?
There are some elements of space travel that I would prefer to have left in my youth. But I am, at present, unharmed by the ordeal.
Tell us about the space amoeba, Spock.
It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival.
Right.
Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
Just do my job.
All in a day's work, Ambassador. This is what I'm here for.
Quite dutifully. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all.
Oh, a mystery.
Even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? Well, our indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Onboard diagnostics can be wrong. I can take a closer look at your shuttle systems to get to the bottom of it.
I would appreciate that.
No worries, Admiral.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've made friends with Spock.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Provocation to war. I like that we get all these different angles of the ship as well. I'm loving it. It's a clunky game, and I don't think it's for everyone, but I think
Spock,
it's worth a go.
my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past.
Captain, just ask him how does he feel.
You're right.
It'll break him.
Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Need your experience.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
This is cool. This is just like a classic Star Trek kind of predicament. Two races.
Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force.
Ah, a really itchy ankle.
The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control.
I bet the Romulans have something to do with it. It's always the Romulans.
Expelled the Illydians from their system.
Sealer.
That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
How did it happen?
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces, especially after decades in this arrangement?
The answer to that question may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illydian fleet if this escalates to open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result.
I assume the storm has something to do with it as well.
We are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone.
Hopefully.
They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective after all.
Difficult. I'm just going to agree. I'm just going to agree with the captain.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Illydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illydians as a source of dilithium.
Ah.
That certainly changes.
We need to grow mushrooms.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
This gives us leverage.
We could use that as leverage with the Illydians. They'll want the Federation to continue buying from them.
There might be something to that, Commander.
Putting that on the table could make the Hotari more hostile.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Iridium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the...
I wanted to press 3.
The field isn't
I like the pun.
We have the backing of the entire Federation. Either of these forces would be foolish to attack us.
That's probably what the Elydians thought too.
We are here because we are up to the task at hand.
All the more
Send the
we want to learn
Cerritos.
as much about the energy anomaly while we can. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage should the situation escalate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
This is really dialogue heavy, this game as well. Like, there is not a break so
I
far.
want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydeck.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydeck could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
He certainly knows how to say the right things.
At
least when
whatever it takes. Let's rock and roll.
Perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines.
We can start our own rebellion.
Commander Rydeck
Become leader of the
will work
planets.
finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace will very well depend on it.
Cool. Yeah, one thing this game's got is the music's really good so far. Oh, wow. Navigational complexities.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
Changelings.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work
So either
on
Romulans or
Ambassador Spock's
changelings.
shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this.
Do you enjoy anything?
Commander Chovak, is there anything you do enjoy?
I take pleasure in the satisfaction of a job well done.
Brutal.
I suggest you try it sometime.
Oh.
Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
Was that a joke?
No, couldn't have been. It seems like he's warming up to us.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we got a red reaction.
Even Chovak has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first.
Don't forget it.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I did pretty great out there. So don't you forget it.
I have a feeling you won't let me forget it.
I'm not gonna have to do a damn thing to remind you.
Come on. Let's
I
get
thought
to
you were
the
just going to
bottom
pull a phaser out for a second. Steady.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Oh, the diagnostics button. Whoa! Begin diagnostic.
So... I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation.
Oh, Miranda. Bit of a
I'm happy
gossip.
for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms.
Have some faith.
You
Because
really
I got
believe
faith.
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
Oh.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something. Here.
Ah.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Spock replicated way too many shots of Sambuca. So,
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a
wait,
fault.
space is pretty big.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
Oop. There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Oh my.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
There we go.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
Same
All
one.
the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things.
Space jellyfish?
Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Let's get in there. Let's start.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other.
Ooh,
It's not overcomplicated.
warp coils.
One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Equip my tricorder. Okay. Scanning. Oh. Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. During the deep scan, use Q and E to switch between different scan modes. Okay. Static field. In the standby state, warp coils produce a magnetic field. Sino-Sorel coil cluster. The center coils guide the warp field through through this focal event, maintaining a collimated thrust vector. Those fractures detected. Okay, good-o. Yeah, okay, polyferrodine. Oh yeah, polyferrodine depositions? The leading cores show evidence of a routine maintenance to repair micro abrasions from the neutrino interactions. Okay. There's no bio. Is there? There's no tribbles hanging about. What happens if I scan a person?
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So...
I don't know, I wasn't very good at scanning.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Miranda! I love you, Miranda.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
Oh my god, we've been going out for like 20 minutes.
But I am glad you came by.
Now that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
Yay!
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
Choo-choo.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie.
Ooh.
I'd rather not leave right now.
Come back safe. We're not kissing, we're on G.
Come back safe.
Deal.
She ain't coming back safe, is she?
Be seeing you.
Nope.
Carter Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So the warp coils in the navigation array are
Do you know what I would really enjoy? And I might be in a slight minority here. But you know you've got all these simulator games like Lawnmower Simulator,
take this out of the shuttle
Pressure
and throw it on
Wash
the bench?
Simulator.
Oh, real hands-on.
I'd love like,
I like it.
I don't know, a shuttle simulator, like not flying a shuttle, but like,
Okay, the
I
nav
don't know,
computer is patched into the ship.
repairing different
ship's computer can double check our work.
starships and stuff.
If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
Oh, there's the errors again.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Exactly.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine.
Put a ball cube in there.
Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1, 1.2, failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of
Might be
tolerance.
like a booby trap.
Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! Oh, is this one the Illidians ships? Is it the Illidians that are the more? Don't know. Cool flags, bro. Seat of power.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you have come. My name is Tylos Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydeck, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and
these are the Hotari.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But either way,
what are these people?
We're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
They look like some other species. I don't even think they're in Star Trek.
The heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Look at these jabronis.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
Do you remember the TNG episode? Like, it's got the guy who played David for like Kirk's son in it.
I think we're about to begin.
Like, there's one species that's basically keeping the other species as drug addicts. I'm getting those kind of vibes.
I don't know what we're walking into here. But that guy was something.
That may be true. But let's keep an open mind
going
into the
let's
negotiations.
not judge a book by its cover.
He's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
Cool palace. God, it seems awfully damp. I bet it's terrible for the lungs. Especially if you got to sit there, right? Cold, and wet. Maybe that's how they like it. Growl at them. Brr.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Illidian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced.
Oh, big talk.
But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter?
Can we have some dilithium,
Perhaps you would
please?
have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
And the dilithium.
We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy. I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
Yeah, it's a pretty echoey
And
room.
what about the Kobliad?
She's not part
She
of...
can speak for herself, can't she?
Oh.
Then let her. Now then. One should know their place. What you might be somewhere else is not what you are here. Which is standing before a queen. And a queen deserves respect. A bow is not too much to ask. Is Hotari Prime part of the Hotari system?
My name is Commander Jara Rydeck, Your Majesty. I prefer to be called by my name, not my species.
Then I suppose that makes us even. Commander.
Yeah.
You are Kobliad. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their
It might be
injustice
Deep Space
towards
Nine,
the
then.
Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Elidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered,
That's what she looks like.
had the chance to right
What's
wrong,
the shape-shifting lady in Clone Wars
under their
that
control.
Boba Fett kills rather like it's the one that it's like the bounty hunter. What's her name? Wessel? Oh, I can't speculate.
I can't speculate on something that never happened, Your Majesty. Sadly, that opportunity never came for the Kobliad.
No, it did not. But we'd be wise to learn from their example, before we too find ourselves facing extinction. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace.
Always.
So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
Let's be honest.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in both peace and securing a steady source of dilithium. One does not preclude or prevent the other.
Oh,
But
Spock
that's
ain't
just
happy.
my personal opinion.
Given the Federation has done business with the Elidians for decades, I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Elidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries.
Oh, they ain't happy.
Don't tell me. Who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Elidians? It can only be one or the other. not both.
I'm sorry. I feel a bit sorry.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Yeah.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred.
If we just started a war.
Take back our mines by any means necessary.
And you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative.
Ah, thank God Spock's here.
We could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
Can't say no to those eyes. Oh. Spock eyes.
I suppose there is some sense to that. I hope we meet.
Just got an absolute look from Spock. Like, nice one, dickhead. Absolutely messed that one up.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are
I mean, they should be pretty cool. I backed them.
What happened in those mines?
Oh, speak to a member of each faction. Reminds me of like Star Trek Online, this bit. I don't know why. Ooh. Appreciate the water.
Soothing.
Just in a room, just soothing. Let's push this guy over the railings. Long way down, eh, bud?
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough.
I'm a sensitive soul. I'm a poet. Yeah, this groovy guy.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
The Hotari have suffered enough at the hands of the Elydians.
I couldn't agree more.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Elydians.
Not seized, reclaimed, and restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive, before the Elydians could even realize their worst nightmare was upon them.
I'm curious why the Elydians haven't fought back.
That is an interesting question.
They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing, courage is another. The Elydians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship.
Yeah.
Ready to contend with anything the Elydians might have in
Oh, 100%. Centaur class, top of the line.
Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
I wouldn't say state of the art, but the Resolute is plenty capable and can hold its own against just about anything.
Let's hope so. Because at the moment, it's the only thing preventing them from wiping us off the map.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander.
Sidron.
I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Oh.
Commander Rydeck, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm
Yeah,
afraid
real
of
cool.
what might happen without your help.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I want to become Queen of Hatari.
These are unusual times, to say the least. Much is changing. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He is really
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Calvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I take it they're against a negotiated peace with the Illidians.
Heroes tend to want more of what made them heroic. If it were up to them, they'd wage all-out war and bring ruin upon us all. My fear has been that the Illidians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt.
Oh, cool.
They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to.
Yeah, that is the question, isn't it?
Never happened.
Like,
And
why
as
haven't they
strange
retaken the
as this
mines?
may
And I guess
sound,
we'll find out, but
I'd almost say they're afraid.
it's definitely interesting.
I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them.
Yeah, oh yeah, let's ask about the
It has
Iron
no
Storm.
teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the Ion Storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Illidians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference.
I feel like the Iron Storm's definitely like not natural.
Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security.
Oh, the plot thickens.
I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
Oh, that's...
Made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. Strongly suspect
What is
they're
it?
hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
Oh, maybe it's the thing from the Gambit. The Romulan slash Vulcan lady. Yeah.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before
Who's
I
played
can
by
make my case to the
Robin
Federation.
Curtis.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Of Savick fame.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
So I guess when we go over to the Illidians, they ain't going to be too groovy with our
Sorry,
presence.
I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me.
I'm playing
Without
4D
Illidian
chess.
involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Sarlet Arminta, Special Attaché, Illidian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander.
They got crazy eyebrows.
I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Oh.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mine? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story.
Romulans.
They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm.
And maybe that's what we saw when we were on the ship.
I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Rydeck.
Nice. Cool. Before we get into more dialogue, because it's been all dialogue, I appreciate this is a dialogue-driven game. Just a massive thank you to everyone stopping by. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, even Kick, just a massive thank you. If you hit the like button, or even if you feel so daring, subscribe or follow. That would be a massive thank you. And we play a variety of games. If you look on the channel on YouTube, a lot of first person. Battlefield's normally my go-to, but Star Trek is my love. There's a Star Trek Armada 2 stream. If I've got a playlist on YouTube with some of my Star Trek adventures as well. So if you do like this kind of thing, let me know, because I'm happy to play more Star Trek games. I've got a load on GOG, so the ones that are available there, I think I pretty much have most of them. I might do something like Star Trek Away Team or Hidden Evil, because yeah, they are narrative driven as well. Hey, Mikey, you done some you've done revising.
Well, that was a
nice.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything. So
Let's give you a quick catch up. The Ion Storm is a question.
The Hotari did not invite us here as
the Hotari, who control the mines at the moment,
I hope your efforts
seem like they have some kind of control over the Ion Storm.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
This is like poor man's Spock.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Warp failed. Just failed. Just outright failed.
Presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
I'm gonna say impulse engines, but it'd be because of relativity.
Out of here at impulse speed?
It may come to that, but we don't know how far this warp dead zone extends. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
The scientific method. So maybe we can obtain the power to wield the Juggernaut optic with laser sights on. Sounds good. I think so. I think we should work towards that. It's an achievable goal, I reckon. Bushido Juggernaut optic with laser sights and underbarrel solar beam.
When we get there,
And that's the goal.
I'll deploy the first probe.
Oh! Do we get to fly a shuttle? I'm just going to crash it into the ship just to see what happens. Oh, we just bounce. What is that? Is that like a little... Oh, that's a shuttle that's glitched through the thing. Never mind, nothing to see there, boys. Let's take a tour. I mean, we don't have to get there, we're in no rush.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position
Oh,
shortly.
that's a bit janky.
And Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Oh, they've put the blast shield down, so the captain can't see us.
Probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty clueless with Star Trek. Well, one history. That's about the same. Some areas of maths. Ah, Star Trek maths. Chovak's not so bad. He's just trying to get the job done.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him. And, I've learned a lot working under him.
I'll fire some phasers.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. This new first officer coming aboard.
I'm gonna cry. Tell you what, I haven't flown a shot in a while. I think Star Trek Online's the last time Yeah, like I'm a proper I'm a sci-fi nerd, but Star Trek is like my thing. Like,
this is far enough.
I just love everything about it. I love how they deal with issues. Like, it's definitely shaped me as a person. Like how I deal with like conflicts and stuff like that. So the love story is like all my family have always watched Star Trek. So if
we are about to replay the simulation.
Like, if I went down, like my granddad loved it, and we would sit there and we'd watch, because you've got like multiple series. You've got the original series, Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, Star Trek Enterprise, and then you've got the new ones as well. Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Picard. Yeah, I love it. Like, and as I've grown older, like, so when I was really young, I really liked. There's a movie called Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home, and that's when they go to the 80s and they save the whales and stuff. And I really liked that when I was a kid. It was fun, comedic, but like when I got older, stuff like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, that's based on a space station and it deals with personal conflict, religion, politics, stuff like that. It just makes you think about things, and it gives you a little bit of hope about humanity as well. It's yeah, it just makes you think sometimes. Like, yeah, the science is goofy and stuff like that, but I don't know, a lot of things have inspired it. If you go and watch Star Trek The Next Generation, they're using iPads before, and they're called pads, PADD, before iPads, and this was in the 80s. You know, mobile phones inspired by the communicators from the original series. Like, there's a classic episode, and this is the 60s, Star Trek the original series with William Shatner, you know, Leonard Nimoy. And there's a classic episode, May This Be Your Last Battlefield or something like that. I think, and literally they beam aboard this guy, and he's got like half a white face and half a black face, literally painted on, but like jet black and like white as, you know, as chalk, I guess. And he's having a fight. So it's like white on the left, black on the right, and he's having a fight with a guy. They don't get on. Like the people with the white on the left and the black on the right don't get on with the people that have half a black face on the left, and half a white face on the right. And it's something so like crazy. And just to point that out, like in the 60s, obviously you had the civil, the racial tensions and stuff like that, and there was like change. People were trying for change. Like Uhura, Michelle Nichols was a confidant of Martin Luther King and stuff like that, and having these people and having different voices like each week, I can only imagine so inspiring for people as well. Like, yeah,
I've heard some good things. You should at least
it's something I'm very passionate about, Star Trek.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3.
The sad thing is, and I think all fan bases suffer with this, Star Wars, Marvel, probably even like Doctor Who as well, like any fan base, there's this weird,
we need to get another
and it comes and goes with Star Trek, like, there's this weird toxic fan base that, like, even though like all the stuff in Star Trek,
we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting
treat everyone kindly and stuff like that.
We'll deploy the second probe there.
There's a real toxic undertone sometimes and real nastiness that happens in the Star Trek community.
Listen, I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
Hopefully, if there's more positive voices, it'll drown out these sort of negative voices.
Of the big picture. Before Rydeck showed,
yeah, it's shaped me as a person.
Told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean,
politics.
If he'd said that about Chovak.
Like, I would definitely give.
Is that why you're being so friendly to me? Politics?
That would be clever, but
so the Kirk movies, not the motion picture, but if you started with like Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, so Star Trek 2, 3, 4. I like Star Trek 5, but it's not a lot of people do. But Star Trek 6 is really good. Like the movies, if you wanted to like dip your toe in, there's definitely some good stuff there.
Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
It's decent.
I love it. So put me up.
So I feel about Band of Brothers. Watched it 13 times.
I think you're going to have to prove that
Gee
to your
whiz.
boss, Chovak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration.
It is, yeah.
If I were first officer, it would be different.
Out of hell with that guy. I'll never change his Vulcan mind about me.
I mean, I've not watched it before, but what I understand it is like lightning in a bottle.
Sure you will.
Band of Brothers. So. Oh, we're at the waypoint?
Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
You're sure? Maps of what and history is.
Warp field collapse in 3,
It's cool.
2, 1.
Ah. Is it dark matter?
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Avatar Last Airbender. I'll probably give it a go. Oh, hello. I've had it recommended before to me because I'm a big fan of history as well.
Got
like
something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find.
When I was a kid, all I would read is horrible history books. I wouldn't read anything else. My mom's still got them all in storage, actually. My stepbrother's kids, they've been reading them. They've been sort of pulling them out. That's really nice. Like, my mom phoned me, was like, you okay with them? I'm like, yeah, go for it. They're great books. Oh, there it is. It's like battleships. Where the bloody hell's the next one? Oh, there we go.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
The moon!
Blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Yeah, the measly Middle Ages book. Yeah, yeah. I love that one too.
They line up with the interference.
Yeah, that one. And there was.
And this beam.
I had like a World War II one that was a bit thicker though. I've read quite a lot. Yeah, Romans. Loved them. Loved them all. You got it. I think the Henry VIII one, or the Tudors. Sorry, the terrible Tudors. Got read quite a lot. I had some of the magazines as well that you could get from like each week. Yeah, I loved it. I think they're great.
I want a full briefing when I'm back on board.
I think they should genuinely be in school curriculums.
Targeted weapon that inhibits
Like,
warp.
you know, you got like Harry Potter and stuff.
From the moon Tau.
That would explain
Horrible
the
histories.
difficulties my shuttle
They do horrible science as well.
More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Elydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship.
Because it's crazy as well. There's some of the most accurate history books as well. Oh, we're the ones who trouble the alien. What's the Hotari up to?
I don't know why the Hotari wanted us here, but it wasn't to negotiate.
Clearly, peace is not their intention.
Then what is? Why go through this charade?
Tylus,
That was a
the
crazy
Hotari
thing. It's like-
representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to
Oh,
investigate.
did they do one on football as well?
Over my tricorder.
I did not
I
know that.
expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question.
She's out of options.
She's worried that her people are being dragged into something that isn't going to end well for them. She's trying to save
I've
them.
done a really good job on the First Contact uniforms.
That may be true.
Loving them.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense to bring us here. Tylus said that Galvin and Sidron have
There's a few cogs working in this story. I'm quite This is like a classic Star Trek kind of
Then calling
problem.
in the Federation is a funny way of going about it. I don't think the Elydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm.
Doing that is beyond even our capability.
Some of my favorite bits in Star Trek are people just trying to work the situation.
There have been civilizations.
Just trying to work it out.
Both past and present.
Like, don't get me wrong, a
far
torpedo
more
or two
technologically advanced
doesn't go
than the
amiss, but
Federation.
The Elydians and Hotari don't
people
fall
sit
into
around
that
discuss the situation.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
I think most problems can be solved, like by just talking it out.
The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Oh, it's Miranda. She's still piloting the show.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much.
It's a weird camera angle. I don't know. It just reminds me of like a 2004 video game.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
We can see up your nose.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Uh-oh.
Tylus.
Tylus is in trouble.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
This ain't
We can
good.
only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
Yeah, let's try and help her.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're
Or
not
maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I love seeing the officers in Band of Brothers problem solving, and it's crazy as well because they've got to do it in an environment they're not familiar with, especially because they're oh, are they paratroopers? Yeah, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, like solving problems under pressure. I think there's something just generally appealing about that in
It appears to be of ancient origin.
in sort of media.
The markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis.
Sort of almost start to feel that pressure with them.
This came from the mines. That it might be
Because we, again, we've all made not that kind of pressure. Well, people have, but your everyday person.
Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action.
This artifact's proof.
Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
There was someone knocking on my wall next to me. It's like, what the hell? I think it might be the wind or something.
Targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the
East Company 101st Division? 101st Airborne. Oh, is that? I assume that's like a real company then. Oh, Easy Company, sorry. 101st Airborne.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
Melville. Oh, also, there's always like the naming structure of the shuttles are always like a like an Easter egg, or so in Deep Space Nine, all the shuttles or the runabouts were named after rivers. And weirdly, it helped me learn all the rivers. Well, learn the rivers of Earth, like the Mekong, the Rio Grande, Ganges, Danube.
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating.
I think TNG had like the Pasteur.
Let's try pulling together.
All right.
Famously, the original series, Galileo. Then Galileo 2.
It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock?
Ah, yes,
From the toolbox.
The EJ7 interlock.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Oh, decisions. One criticism, I wish it would let you mess up there. Be professional.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Da-da-da. Oh, this one has a blue light. Da-da-da.
Here, I'll help.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand.
No, we both enjoy Star Trek.
Isolinear chips down to engineering.
It was actually one of the things we sort of, when we first like went on our first dates and stuff, we were talking about, you know, stuff we like, TV programs, movies.
The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Yeah, like.
Oh, I thought security was the detail to be on. Now all of a sudden you're interested in engineering?
Yeah, we've seen the JJ movies together. I think, except 2009, we went and saw Into Darkness and Beyond together. Yeah, she likes Star Trek. Oh, isolinear chips. I wanted to pick some. Oh. Oh.
What's this?
The artifact.
Some kind of crystal formation?
It's a bit, I am. I definitely am. But to be fair, when it comes to other things like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Sarah knows her stuff.
Quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Yeah, we probably equally like Star Wars, about the same amount. Sarah enjoys the animated stuff more.
What?
Well, to be fair, I only really like the original movies.
Orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue.
Oh.
You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
I mean, we've been dating for like 2 hours.
We're trying to
so
put together.
let's rock the
We
boat.
should be investigating it.
And you can. In the containment lab. But protocol is protocol. I can't make an exception just
Let's push her out the shuttle bay.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are.
Oh.
But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel.
She's trying to get a promotion.
We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
Miranda, you gotta be more careful. Someone hears that, they could think you're talking mutiny.
Yeah, mutiny. Let's have a mutiny.
I'm just trying to figure out how we can help.
Love a good mutiny.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab.
Thing blows up in her hand.
We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core.
See, she's on the same page. Exploding crystals. Oh, saucer.
Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast? But she usually doesn't scare easy.
Now, you can't tell me you're not a little spooked, too.
Yeah, quantum crystals. Don't mess with quantum
Believe
crystals.
Me, I'm taking it seriously. But Miranda...
Anything with quantum in the front
name.
name.
On her own,
bad news.
That's going too far. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it.
Yeah, so it's interesting as well.
Miranda too.
It gives you a code. Like, I guess once we finish this, we can have a look at all of our choices, and I wonder if that shows which way we sort of went
with a
and stuff.
representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydeck?
if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau.
Oh, we're calling it a
Particular
weapon.
interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
The captain's voice is a familiar voice actor.
With a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
Oh, you get to analyze things. Ah, Klingon. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. See if we can find some more. So we've seen the Klingons. Just a Facebook signature. Oh, it's only Klingon. Thought we'd see some more familiar stuff. Huh? Oh, nowhere near. Nowhere near. It's got more of a flame to it. See, in Star Trek Online, you get to do these like mini games and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's close. I mean, this is the symbol of the game, so... Oh, bingo. That's why this game has this symbol on the box art.
99.2% match.
Bingo.
Got it.
What is that? Oh, the Takon Empire. Well, that's a cut.
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Takon Empire.
That's cool.
Civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering.
We learned about the Takon Empire in like the 3rd episode of the Next Generation.
Most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
First time you see the Ferengi.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takon technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takon is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
Actually, I've heard of the Takon.
You have?
Quite impressive, Commander.
Yeah.
Computer, summarize the Enterprise D's discovery of a Takon outpost.
On stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takon outpost in the Delphi Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating the release of an entity known as Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takon Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field.
So that's the thing with the Next Generation.
What else is there?
They stumble across a lot of ancient civilizations.
Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
The Ferengi vessel? Oh.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense.
Actually,
considering what
it's quite a cool twist. I did not expect the Takon to be mentioned.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence.
Oh. Yes.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, What else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
Do we have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
Then we get to see the dude.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
It was like a
Computer,
hologram.
what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter.
Oh yeah, that was right. It wasn't a
the
hologram.
crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said,
It's always the coolest way to control technology. With your brain.
The Illydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
For now, it's probably best we don't let on how much we know.
Stay cool.
Play our cards close to the vest. Smart. I agree. Then when the time is right, we can confront them.
Diplomatically, of course.
Right.
We've been able to
Yeah,
triangulate the
we're
source
gonna
of
just
the ionic
torpedo them.
interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
We need to know
This
what's
captain
down
just
there.
does not want to be here. He's like, oh, for God's sake.
Better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydeck on a covert mission to Tau.
Interesting. We could do I wonder if we get to dress up in like the covert uniform.
Obviously, it's not without risk.
I'm always ready.
I'm ready for action, Captain. Just say the word and I'll be there.
I'll admit, I wish I could go myself. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only her knowledge of the mines, but her ability to gain access, particularly now that we know which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make
Yeah, everyone's happy.
arrangements as discreetly as
Captain
possible.
and
Bridge
the
to Captain Solano.
tactical
Illydians
officer.
have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime. Doing so will provide Commander Rydeck as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Cool. Right.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar, where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it.
Oh,
Security never checked it in.
they've never checked it
They
in.
never got there? She's the one that had the crystal formation?
What a twist.
Yeah, her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiations.
Right, on that, I'm actually going to leave it here, and we're going to pick it back up, because I feel like this is a natural kind of watershed point. We're going down to the planet. We found out about the Takong Empire. Just a massive thank you for everyone stopping by. Like, some of the numbers I was seeing when I was playing, I was getting a bit nervous, actually. So yeah, we'll definitely do a part 2. Again, we've been live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. So however you've been watching, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll pick this back up. I'll do the rest of it as a live stream as well. Tuesday today. I'll probably do it Thursday, I think. So we'll do some Battlefield tomorrow, and then we'll come back to Star Trek Thursday. And in the meantime, yeah, let me know if you think I should do some other, maybe more narrative-driven Star Trek games as well. Cool. So, thank you very much. Have a great evening. Mikey, thank you for stopping by as well. Have a great rest of your evening.